Hello, this is Mr. Collier, and today we're learning about solving equations. Okay, so when solving equations, that means we're finding out which value makes the equation true. So we're going to look at a couple of equations and find out which value makes the equation true in each example. So we have here 4 plus some number. Okay, 4 plus some number equals 10. What number could that be? Well, there's only one possibility. This has to be a 6. Okay, so the solution here is 6. This is the value that makes this equation true. Okay, in the next example, we're looking for some number subtracted from 10. It gives you 3. Well, 10 minus what gives you 3? That's going to be a 7, obviously, and there's only one possibility. So the solution to that equation is 7. Now, the next one we have 4 times some number equals 24. So 4 times what number gives you 24? That's going to be a 6, right? So the solution to that one is going to be a 6. Okay? So we're going to go over a couple more examples. Now in the next examples, instead of writing a blank as we did before, mathematicians like to use what we call a variable. Like instead of just having a blank here, we could say X or A or B or N or any letter really to represent a variable. So here's the same question as before. 5 plus what number is going to give you 16? Well, that number has to be 11. 5 plus 11 gives you 16. So the solution, call this a solution, the solution to this equation is 11. Next equation, what number subtracted from 18 gives you 12? Well, that's obviously got to be 6 because 18 minus 6 gives you 12. So the solution is B equals 6. Now the next one, this is my division symbol here. Okay, so sometimes you'll see that it is a slash. So 36 divided by some number gives you 9. What number can that be? Well, that has to be a 4. 36 divided by 4 gives you 9, so this number is A equals 4. That's the solution to that equation. Okay, in the last example, is a bit trickier. What number n will make this all equal to 64? Well, we have an 8 times this sum right here. So 8 times what's going to give you 64? Well, this has got to be an 8. So that we have 8 times 8 gives you 64. Okay, so 5 plus what number gives me 8? That number has to be 3. Okay, that number has to be 3. We can check that now. If we put 3 in here for n, we have 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 times 8 gives you 64, so that works. That's the solution. Okay, let's go on to a couple other harder examples. Now here, to make this a little bit simpler, by the way, this is the time symbol right here. We're going to stop using x for a time symbol because we often use x as a variable. Okay, so for multiplication we can use maybe sometimes you'll see a star symbol, sometimes you'll see something like 4 times 2, or you'll see 4 star 2, or you might even see 4.2. Those are all always right 4 times 2, but we're not going to see 4 times 2 like that much anymore because we're using x as a variable. So these are all acceptable forms of 4 times 2. So I'm using the star here. So 4 times a number m equals 20 plus 4. So we can simplify this a bit by just writing this as 24, right? So basically 4 times a number equals 24. What does that number have to be? That number has to be 6. That's your solution. Okay, the next example, this could be a bit tricky, but we can simplify it a bit. This over here, 24 divided by 6 equals 4. So I know all this equals 4. And then we could try maybe some different numbers. Like for example, let's try if n is 2, then we have 2 plus 2 times 2 minus 4. That actually equals 2, so it's not going to be 2. If you try 2 plus 2 times 3 minus 4, that's 2 plus 6 minus 4. 2 plus 2, that does equal 4. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for something that's going to equal 4. So if I put in n equals 3, that is going to be the correct answer. Okay, so if you put in n equals 3 here, you get the correct answer. So that is the solution. N equals 3. Okay, a couple of other examples now. We're just checking to see whether each is a solution. So is x equals 6 a solution to this equation? So how do we check that? We can substitute in the value x equals 6, right? So does 4 times 6 plus 6 equals 22? Let's check it out. This means times, by the way. If it's just written 4x, it means 4 times x. So 4 times, let's check if 4 times 6 plus 6, let's check to see if that's equal to 22. Since we don't know, we're just checking. I'm going to write a question mark here. Does 4 times 6 plus 6 equals 22? Let's see. We have 4 times 6 is 24 plus 6. Does that equal 22? No. So x equals 6 is not a solution. Okay, in the next example, is n equals 3 a solution to this equation? Well, let's see. 2 times 3, does that equal 24 divided by 3? So 2 times 3 is 6. Does that equal 8? No. So also, n equals 3 is not a solution to this equation. It's only a solution if it makes the equation true, and they're not true, so they're not solutions to the equation.